That's right. I'm back. I'm here making more videos. I got a PC, a really good $800 one, and oh my, I'm going to be finishing my Marvel Spider-Man walkthrough through that. So I'm going to have to kind of catch up a little bit before I get to that point to where I was in the last video. But if you're new, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and like the video. In this one, we're going to be talking about Mary Jane and why she's going to be such a big part. Like what her problem is in this game, because she's going to have a lot of problems in this game, realistically. Let's try to get the 400 likes. That would be greatly appreciated. And let's go ahead and get into this. So the first thing that we kind of have to look out for is, of course, Peter versus MJ. I think that in many ways, this is going to be one of the main aspects of the game, because once Peter gets that symbiote, he's really going to be pushing people away. And I think that, of course, MJ is one of those anchors that he has in his life, one of the last anchors that he has in his life, considering that Aunt May died. She passed away. She unalived. Oh my god, I'm still fucking emotionally a wreck over that. But honestly, I think that MJ is being kind of hidden from the trailers. Like, she maybe had like 2 moments in the story trailer, but overall we haven't seen a lot of her. We saw more of her in the first trailer, or in the first game's trailer and whatnot, and seeing her in the story trailer. But I think that they're hiding a big part of her, and I think that big part is, of course, the Daily Bugle. We know that J. Jonah Jameson is there, we know that MJ is there, and we know that Eddie Brock is there too. So this whole combination of Eddie Brock being there, MJ being there, of course, even like J. Jonah Jameson being there with Symbiote Peter being around, it kind of seems like they're going to be sicking these reporters on Peter and trying to make him look like the worst possible menace imaginable. And I really cannot wait to see how they play upon the news aspect of this in the next game. But that leads to my next point, which is Eddie versus MJ. And I've made this point before, where I think that it would be an interesting aspect if we have Eddie chasing down a story for Symbiote Peter, and MJ kind of doing the same thing, but in like an opposite light, where she's trying to really expose more of the symbiote while Eddie's trying to expose more of Spider-Man. And of course that leads to conflict between not only Eddie and MJ, but also Eddie and Peter, where Peter's obviously very upset at Eddie throwing out false lies about him. And I think that that's a good and clever way to introduce Eddie Brock in here without being too heavy-handed, I guess you can say, because we know that the Daily Bugle is going to play some part. J. Jonah Jameson returning there, I think, really plays into that aspect of this part being a huge aspect, because we've never really seen, I mean, the fact that we hear him every 5 minutes, J. Jonah Jameson, in the last game, I feel like he's almost like the Joker in Batman Arkham Knight, you know what I mean? So he can really antagonize the main villain of the game, which would be Venom or the symbiote, and really fuck with Peter in many ways. So in that aspect, Eddie, MJ, and of course J. Jonah Jameson are all going to have a huge part, and MJ is going to be the centerfold of all that. The way that we actually get into all that to begin with, how we even get into that whole circle with Peter. So it's going to be interesting to see that. I might have Black Cat in the video, or in the thumbnail, I have no idea, but she is a part of this, where it's Black Cat versus MJ too, because we know that Black Cat's in this game. We know that she's going to be a big part of this game, or at least some part of this game, because she was in the first trailer. She was literally, the first gameplay reveal. She was the first person that you saw on the freaking screen when I was shown the Kraven. So I think that in many ways they're going to be polar opposites, kind of like in Web of Shadows, where MJ was kind of like a good side of Peter, where you got to go to MJ when you do all the good missions and whatnot, when you choose the good decisions. When you do all the bad shit, it's always Black Cat. So I really think that in many ways they can play upon that too, and kind of have Black Cat back and have her be just, of course, an influence of bad decisions for Peter, and constantly have him getting into trouble, or even like turning on MJ in many ways, kind of manipulating him into breaking up with MJ while he has the symbiote. And of course, it's not really Peter. I mean, it is Peter deep down, but realistically, it's the symbiote kind of egging him on and trying to antagonize and instigate. So I think that in many ways, that can also be a very fun aspect to play with MJ, and that leads back to MJ just having a big part with almost every aspect in this game, even Venom, and even like the symbiote, where we see Peter chasing MJ with the symbiote, and that's most likely a Peter that's possessed by the Venom symbiote, or like maybe even sleeping in many regards, and the symbiote is starting to process the thoughts of what Peter is seeing from the news and whatnot, and maybe even going out and looking for Eddie Brock too. That'd be so freaking cool to see, and MJ's really there to stop him, and doing that, basically getting chased down by symbiote Peter and Venom. So Venom might even have a grudge. He might even pull what he did in his original appearance, where he actually stays in MJ's apartment until she comes home and freaks the shit out of her. Oh my god, that would be perfect. I think that would be a really good twist upon things, and kind of, you know, seeing her reaction to maybe even Peter losing the symbiote being gone for a while. They're like, oh fuck, we got rid of it, and then boom, she sees that logo in the dark. That would be such a fucking cold scene. That'd be so awesome. But again, there's so many things that they could do with Mary Jane. She's always been a very big part about the Spider-Man mythos, so I think Insomniac understands that. And I mean, maybe she's even a way that Gwen Stacy gets involved, or maybe even Betty Brant or something like that. They introduce more characters through her and have more love interests, or even something like that where there's more people for Miles to interact with and Genki to interact with. You know, she's a big part that a lot of people are missing out on, and I think that the trailers are intentionally trying to keep her away from us. So tell me what you guys in the comments below. Do you think that MJ is going to be a big part in the next game? I really want to know your guys' thoughts. You guys are honestly amazing for keeping all the support, even though I've been gone for a while. I was on vacation last week, my computer broke, and then I had to buy a new freaking computer, so I just went all out and got this nice PC. So hopefully you guys enjoy the videos, or at least the content if they're higher quality. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Definitely like, comment, subscribe for more videos in the future. I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace out.